Ready? Cornhole with Smooth, bringing the community together, one bag at a time. What's up, y'all? This is Jay Smooth, and that is
Dr. Nick.
And this is another special episode of Cornhole with Smooth, the podcast. Today we'll be sitting down with a special guest. Somebody's been sat down with Wally for the last couple of years, commentating with ACL. I just recently met her, and good spirits. You know, she's putting out a lot of energy and love for the players out here. They call her Cornhole Meesh, but it's Michelle Thompson. Welcome to the stage, Michelle.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Oh, going good, good. Yeah, it's an honor for you to be on. Like I said, I've been, following you. Of course, we know Wally. Wally's from the area, so we love Wally. So I've been watching you and him, commentate together. I said I had to get her on. I mean, you do a whole lot for the ACL. I see you on the sidelines doing interviews. You're behind the camera, behind the mic, doing stuff for Wally. So we just truly appreciate you coming on to the podcast.
Oh, I feel the same way. It's an honor to be here. I'm wearing my Fleekable shirt for Wally.
Let's go.
That's awesome. That's true. That's true. So we get right to it then. All right, Meesh. If it's okay if I call you Meesh, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, Meesh. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so love cornhole a lot. Just still an intermediate player, but I don't really have aspirations to get better cornhole-wise. But I've been an entrepreneur since I was 22, so I just love the business side of things, and I just think it's really fun to watch people grow in the sport and watch people come into the sport and see how they just completely fall in love with it like I did.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think we all can say the same thing.
Yeah.
So how long have you been playing?
Since 2021.
Okay, so around the same time. We've been in about 2020, so around the same time. Okay,
yep.
Awesome.
So how did you first get into cornhole? Like, what did that journey look like for you?
Yeah, so we would play in the backyard, obviously, like my husband and I and our friends would come over. Basically, if the garage door was up, that meant we're throwing bags, come on in. But we didn't do anything beyond that, right? It was just, this was corn bags, handmade boards. I mean, we were backyard players. But then my husband started competing, but he would just find a tournament like a couple times a year. He didn't know about like weekly leagues and things like that. And then he found one, and that's when I knew I lost him. Either I had to start playing or I was never going to see him again. So that's when I started playing competitively with him.
That's a very real thing.
That's awesome. So what are some of your favorite bags to throw and why?
I'm throwing right now the BG Sorcerers. I like them because I don't like really floppy bags, and they're a bit fuller. And then it has the right speed for me. I like a slower bag. My bag is like, I kind of have a handshake release, so it's not super flat. And so they tend to do what I need them to do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Absolutely. So I know in the Midwest, like cornhole has been blowing up all over the place. And so how about out on the West Coast? What's the last 5 years look like? How the scene has been coming to light? How would you describe that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys were listening to ACL stuff maybe a few years ago, but it was always like, who's the Cali player? Like, no one's coming out of Cali. And clearly that has changed right now. We have tons of California talent. But even just from the tournament side of things, when we started playing, we were playing in Yuba City, which is about 45 minutes from our house. And when we started our league, it was because there was nothing in Butte County, and we were the first, and now there's like tons, right? You could play every night. And so when we first started in 2021 with our very first tournament, it was like the only one around, unless you had to drive 45 minutes to an hour. So it's really exploded.
That's awesome. How soon did the league show up after running that first tournament?
So we started our first, like, here's the timeline. It's crazy, right? I started playing competitively in February in 2021. And then we started our first league night in April of 2021. And our very first night, we had 60 people. Oh, okay, this is crazy.
That's huge.
Yeah, and then it grew even, like, we were getting over 100 players on a Wednesday night every week. So it was really, really big. And then we lost our venue for like 9 months. And then when we came back, it's been a lot smaller now, but that's also because so many more have popped up, right? So just a little bit of competition, but that's, it's the way it goes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, like I said, I've been following your pages, IG and Facebook, and you speak a lot about the mental part of the game. So, what made you focus so much on that part of the game? Because that's needed, and I want to hear it because we needed to throw all the time, and we were just trying to figure it out, And we got these kids that come out here and just throw, 10 5s and 11s with, where in the world, and we just trying to make pass and get a good 9 in there.
Right. Yeah, I feel you there. So that's been my career for the past 15 years. So I've worked. My business previous to this was helping women with emotional eating, binge eating, weight
Mm.
issues, and I always taught that from the perspective of the mind. So I wasn't much. I know I have a history of being a personal trainer, but I really didn't focus much on the physical. I was just wanted to help them understand how their thoughts and feelings and these different and the connections they have with their body and with the world, how that's influencing these behaviors, because I don't believe anybody is truly a binge eater, an emotional eater. That's just the response to the stuff that's happening, right? It's what we're doing because of all these other things. So that is everything I teach in cornhole is exactly what I would teach with this other industry. It's just with a different goal in mind, right? So I taught how to have your ideal body by creating your ideal life, like understanding your thoughts, your feelings, your limiting beliefs, and all of that. And now I just kind of took it over to cornhole and said, okay, now you can be the best performer by understanding your thoughts, your feelings, your body, and that connection.
Hmm, that's deep. That's real deep.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
Love
know.
that.
I think me and Nick can sit down and list you all day with that kind of stuff because that's really really no. It's important though because we don't think
Most
about it.
definitely.
As we get older, we got our families and all that stuff, and trying to go play cornhole and focus so much on that. It's a lot. So I totally get that. Don't worry, we'll be reaching out. Don't worry.
You got it.
Definitely. So I understand that you're the creator of the 4-state performance model. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, what's funny is I don't even remember when I created it or like how it came to be because I have these 3 a.m. Brainstorm sessions that I don't want to have, but it happens. So this was one of those 3 a.m. brainstorm sessions that I just have stopped fighting at this point. So I don't just occurred to me like I was like, how do I communicate this idea that it's more important how you're feeling, your state? Because I don't know if you're familiar with neurolinguistic programming, but that's kind of the study of the language of the mind and how it communicates with the body. And that's training I did years ago. And we talk a lot about in that training about your state, using it for something totally different. But your state basically is going to influence your physiology and your thoughts and your emotions and your nervous system. They all work together. And so I was just trying to come up with how do I communicate this to cornhole players that instead of focusing on, am I gripping correctly? I would rather you focus on, am I in the worry state right now? Or,
Love that.
or should I be in the play or the flow state? Which one do I play best in? Am I more of like a loose, laughing, dancing with the music kind of player, or am I a locked in, don't talk to me, tunnel vision kind of player? And knowing that, then your pre-shot routine will be different based on what state you're trying to elicit. But whenever something goes wrong, instead of going, oh man, what did I do wrong? I want cornhole players to ask, what state was I in? Because that is in your control. Where the bag goes is not in your control. Whether you win or lose is not in your control. You are 100% in charge of your state. And that is what influences everything else.
Very well said.
I can't do nothing but shake my head, man. Hey, that's amazing. I mean, it's stuff it's needed to be heard though, from for you to other players because I think a lot of times we can come up with our own, hey, I think I did this, did that. But if go through those actual steps that you just actually said and take that advice you just actually gave, I mean, worrying about missing or going in is the least, So man, that's yeah, okay. Good
Speaking
stuff.
my language
I
too,
love
with
that.
the
I love
nervous
that.
system and mind body
Oh yeah.
connection.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah, I
connect
did.
so well with that. You guys connect so well with that because again, he's a chiropractor. He takes care of everybody in the area. Just for
I
you to know.
bet.
So
Got your
once,
back.
yeah, he got your back. So
Literally.
yep, he got
Yeah,
your back.
and the nervous system is kind of more of a recent, my master's is human behavior, my PhD is psychology, so I've been very influenced by the mind, but it's only in the recent probably I would say 3 to 4 years that I've focused more on the nervous system, the what is the body doing, not just the mind? And that's been even more fascinating to me.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So Mish, outside of cornhole, what are some of your, hobbies or things that you do that, get your mind away from, regular life?
Yeah, I mean, cornhole is kind of, it started out as my hobby and became my business. So that's getting a little bit nuanced, I will say.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not as much of a hobby now, which I did to myself. But what in terms of what I love, like I love music. Music is my other passion. I did musical theater growing up, and I play guitar, and I like to sing and write and just listen to music. I like to make playlists and find new artists, and I'm just super passionate about music. And I also love to read.
Mm.
I love Pinot Grigio, so I love a good glass of wine and a book. That is like my happy place. So cheers.
Cheers.
But
Cheers.
yeah, that's and hanging out. I have really good friends that I just am blessed to be able to spend time with, and my son and my husband, and that pretty much takes up my time outside of cornhole.
Amazing. Love it. Love it.
Love that. Bonus question. Do you use Spotify Premium?
Yeah, I do.
It's the best.
Yeah, I just switched actually. We were an Apple Music family, but um, I create the playlist for Cornhole, obviously, like for our weekly, and then people would ask for it. And with Apple, it's really hard to share. And so I was like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna start creating playlists on Spotify so that people can just grab those playlists and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I love it.
Very cool. Well, so Mish, do you want to get better insight on your experience this year for ACL Worlds Championships?
Oh, the lovely travel fun that I had to endure. You know,
Yes, please tell us
Yep.
more.
the thing is when you travel as much as I do, that stuff's just it's gonna happen. There's no way you can have every perfect travel experience, and I'm truly blessed that this rarely ever happens. This is the first time I've ever had to get a hotel and spend the night somewhere because of a
Wow.
missed flight. But basically, the gist of it was, it's summer, and there's this in the south. There's storms in the summer, and there was a
Right.
super bad thunderstorm, lightning over Atlanta right when I was supposed to land. And
Wow.
so we circled over the airport for about an hour and then they ran out of gas. So we had to land in Memphis and we were supposed to just take back off and head to Atlanta. And then they said it's still closed, airport's still closed. So we sat on the tarmac for 2 hours and then finally made our way to Atlanta. But I missed my connection by 15 minutes, which is crazy because I had a 3 hour layover. So I almost made it. But it didn't happen, and so I booked a hotel, and I got to the hotel that night, and then I didn't have my luggage because they won't give you your luggage when you have a connection. And woke up the next morning, set my alarm for 5 a.m. I think I got to the hotel at 12:30. Set my alarm for 5 a.m. Woke up in a panic at 6:15. Just slept through my alarm. Didn't hear it.
Wow.
Which, by the way, I'm 40 years old. That's the first time in my life I've ever done that. Like, what? Why now? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
missed my Uber. They had to pay for that because I had it scheduled, and then I scheduled another one. 10 minutes they arrived, got to the airport, grabbed my boarding pass, and I walked onto the terminal as soon as it was boarding. So made my flight and then I had to commentate, at 10. I landed at 9, and it was just,
Wow.
great start to the trip.
great.
Right
Great.
on.
Well, you just said you're 40, so I'm 47. So just get ready. It's gonna get worse.
Hopefully I don't sleep through more. Okay, I'll tell you. After that, I set like 4 alarms every morning. I'm like, this is
Oh
not
yeah.
happening.
Oh yeah. So yeah, me and Nick has never been to an ACL, World Championships. We've been to ACL
Correct.
For the last 4 years now, comparatively. And just want to give a little bit of insight. You commentate, so you see behind the scenes. So what are some of the things that you have seen at World Championship that's kind of like gave you like like a wow moment, just commentating?
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much. The all the stuff that goes into those events, right? And the meetings that we have before leading up to it. When I was a sideline reporter, all the broadcast meetings that happen before we even arrive at Worlds, and then the broadcast meetings that happen once you get there. We have live stream meetings where we're going through the details of every single thing. There's so much that goes into those events before we even walk into the buildings, and so many meetings that we're having with different team members. And I think the Worlds meeting that we have has like 30 people on it. Like, it's crazy just getting there. So that part's just really cool to see the team all come together. And then once we're there, the live stream team, we're kind of on our own. We kind of just do our own thing. We're not really involved in much else other than our courts. But it's cool to be able at other events like Not Worlds, for example, the live stream team and the directors, we all come together at the end of an open night and maybe play some cards and have a drink. And that's really fun to be able to hang out with the whole team and kind of have departments come together. But at Worlds, it's so crazy. It's hard, but us live streamers, we will make sure that we have some time at the end of the night to play some dice or some cards and have a glass of wine or a beer and enjoy before we head to bed and do it all again the next day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I would love to hear it. Just want to get your experience behind it because we have seen it on TV but never been there. So like, I know you throw tournaments in California. So how often do you run tournaments?
So we have our weekly, it's not a league, it's a drop-in, but we do it every Wednesday. And that's pretty much all that I get to do, because that's the night that our son goes to grandma's house for a sleepover, but I don't want to, take advantage of that more than one night a week, especially when I travel a lot. It's like, I don't want to give up that time with him.
I totally understand that. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I know you ran tournaments too. So I was like, well, she throws, travels, and run tournaments. That's you do it all.
Yeah, we have like 2 that we do every year. There's one for the soccer club that we do every year, and there's one for the Paradise, which is the town we used to live in. They have like a tournament. It's like a chili cook-off tournament we do. I think we're on our 4th year. So we do those 2 every single year, but we're pretty select. My husband would try to book them more, and I'm like, no, I need a weekend off. No more tournaments. But I say that, but then I just literally created a whole extra like side thing where I'm going to be teaming up with animal rescues and running tournaments to raise money for those rescues. So we booked our first one in November. We're calling it Toss for Tails. And so I'm going to be booking a bunch of those in 2026 and then creating content around that so that we can get a lot of money for these rescues and get some eyes on all those sweet animals that need to be adopted.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, you gave us some good insight on some events coming up and some of the new things that you're getting into. Is there any that fall into that category of like the off season for you, of whether you're attending, playing, commentating, any big, big events or anything like that? Or does that kind of like,
we're going to Cabo. We're having a vacation for once. I get to travel for fun.
Good for you.
We wait till September, October to be able to do that. So we're going in September for a week, just my husband and I and some family.
Nice.
So looking forward to that. And we do play cornhole at the resort, but those are resort boards and
it's different.
Different game.
Different mindset.
Yeah, for sure. But no, cornhole. I did do some different things with our league for August, and hope to continue doing that for September and October, just to kind of switch things up. But in terms of during the season, it's kind of just on autopilot because sometimes my husband has to run it without me. So I am trying out some new fun things for our weekly Wednesday night stuff. But other than that, no, not really.
Oh, understand. So, Michelle, like we talked earlier, Wally's our hometown friend. He's been around us for the last, like I said, since we've been throwing. So what is it like for you to sit next to him and commentate?
Oh yeah, so I met Wally in 2021 in Vegas. We commentated together. So literally it was like sit down next to each other. Hi, nice to meet you. I guess we're calling this together. But of course I was listening to him, on the mic and stuff. And actually that's not true. I met him at Worlds before that. So, but not formally. It was just kind of, he was there and I was there. So this is our first time really hanging out together. And it was just, for me, it was like instant connection. I'm like, okay, this guy is my dude. Like, we're good. So we have just enjoyed hanging out together. He's come here and stayed at our house a few times and visited here in Orville, and my son loves him, and we've just become really close friends and someone that I really care and love. So it's been an honor to be able to learn from him and enjoy his wit and laugh and just be a friend.
That's so awesome to hear. And as you know, he did his last, party and podcast with us. And that was just awesome to do that with us. We were so honored. And I was just like, wow. That's why I was like, I was thinking to myself, I got to get Misha on because she's the next up. She's already up, but she's right there. She's going to be right there. She's going to be the new one, the new legend we're going to talk about. So I love it.
Yep, we can definitely relate to the love of Wally for sure.
Yeah.
And So, Mish, tell us this though. Tell us about the most significant challenge you faced as a player or a commentator, and how did you overcome that? What comes to mind?
I mean, there's like silly ones, like when I first started, trying to stay at the mic awake and alert for, sometimes 6 to 8 hours is a struggle. And I've had to learn some things. And actually, you can tune into, I think it's next week's YouTube video I just recorded today, where I talk about exactly all the things I changed to be able to be energetic for an entire day, which will help you guys in your tournaments. So there's definitely a learning curve there for sure. But in terms of challenges, I would say that the commentating, it's really just about trying to be energetic all day long. But the sideline reporting was much more challenging because it's live television. It's ESPN, so there's a different level of professionalism that you have to have.
Yes.
And it's there's no do-overs. So that one is a bit more, I don't even want to say stressful, because it's not something that I actually enjoy, that type of pressure and stress, to be able to do kind of live television and know that I have to knock it out of the park this one shot. And I enjoyed it, but I made mistakes. I've made big mistakes. I can remember one time I think I was interviewing Devin Harbaugh, and I couldn't think of the word underdog. And I was like, so I'm on live television. I'm like, so people would consider you to be, like the lesser, not as good player. like, what is this damn word? And I finished the intro and I come on, and I'm like, oh my God. And I think, I can't remember, I was Anthony or Trey, but they're like, underdog. I'm like, thank you. What was that word? So there's been moments like that. There was the time that I always have my producer in my ear when I sideline report, and then I have a Kat, who's director of events, running around. And at that moment, they were both talking to me, and we were deciding if we wanted to do for the timeout and the media timeout, if they wanted me to go and do an interview with the players in that media timeout. And they're going back and forth, like, yeah, we're going to do it. No, we're not. And as they're having that conversation, like, we're running out of time, it's about to be the media timeout. And so my back is turned. I'm talking to Kat. My producer's telling me, no, we're not going to do it. And then all of a sudden he goes, oh, go out there now. Go out there now. So I run on the court to do the media timeout interview, which is like, either, hey, you're up, or hey, you're down. Like, what are you going to do? And so I said something like, hey, you're up right now. Like, what are you going to do to keep the momentum? And it was Lexi Hugeback, and she goes, what are you talking about? We just won. And I'm on live television. I did not know the game ended. Like, apparently they got like a 7-point round and ended the game, and I didn't know. And so it was like one of those moments where I was like, cool. So there's no way to recover from that. So I just had to kind of be like, well, congratulations. I must have missed that. That is so awesome. So, and then roll into an interview about like winning. So, those moments are hard. And that's live television. It is what it is.
Live is called live for a reason, right?
Live is called live. So I'm going to just piggyback off of that. I mean, for me and Nick to be inspiring to be in the media, realm, world, whatever you want to call it, what advice could you give us? Because I mean, you had to kind of sit back and think about, what you're going to say. You messed up, but you kept going, right? So what are some of your, no, seriously, like some of your, you did live, television, that's big time, to be on ESPN, that's blessings to you. Seriously, that's awesome. And I just want to know what kind of advice you can give us, because we're starting off and we just want to continue to grow and get better. So what kind of advice can you give us?
I'll tell you, my first ever media was when I did a news segment. That was probably like 2018, I think. I was booking myself news segments for my previous business to talk about binge eating and emotional eating. And so my very first one is my first time live television. And I told myself the whole way there, I'm good at this. I'm great on camera. I'm great under pressure. I love a microphone. Put a camera in front of me. So I think so much of it is just that sort of self-talk before. I never doubted that I would be good. And I had zero evidence to why that is true. There's nothing that I would say other than I did enjoy, like, I did a lot of speaking prior, like on a stage in front of an audience, but that's not a news segment. That's not camera in my face, live television. So didn't technically have any evidence as to why I would be good at it. But that's what I told myself the whole way there. And I went on the new segment, and I think I did great. I was charismatic. I was, like I said, what I needed to say, and I felt super comfortable. So,
Wow.
I think same thing with sideline reporting. I had never done it before. And I told the ACL, I want to be your sideline reporter, and I'll be really good at it, with zero evidence as to why that would be true. And my very first one was Spencer McKenzie's, and as they were basically auditioning me there. And I walked in and I was like, I'm going to be so good at this. I'm going to kill it. Like, so I think just so much of it is that that general belief you have in yourself, and you don't have to have a reason why. You don't have to have evidence. I just trusted that if I have the strong desire to do this, I must also have the skills and the ability. Otherwise, why would I have the desire? Like, we don't have the desire to do everything, right? Like, I don't want to be an astronaut. So, but for whatever reason, I have this desire. So I must be blessed and gifted enough to be able to do it.
I love that answer, because that's something I strive to try to go into every, situation with that confidence and knowing that you can do it. And like you said, you don't need evidence. You are the evidence, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So no, that's I love it. I love that advice a lot. Thank you for that.
There
Yeah,
is certainly. Go ahead.
I was saying, and I also believe in something bigger than me, right? Like, it's not like it's just me going and doing this thing. Like, this is what I was given the gift and born to do, and I'm just doing what I was put here to do. So I kind of keep it bigger picture than just me.
Oh
and
yeah.
what
Oh yeah.
Love that. Yeah, literally what I was going to say is, there is power in blind faith. And
Yeah, exactly.
what a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all preaching
Awesome.
today. I see it. Hey, amen to all.
Yeah, hey, amen.
Amen.
So, Mish, tell us about one of your most memorable moments or accomplishments as a player and or a commentator.
Okay, as a player, I remember. Does everybody remember their first ever four-bagger? Like, do you guys remember?
Yes, I do. Actually, because I got to
Probably
sign the
somewhat
board.
close.
Yeah, I signed the
Yeah,
board
we
when I
signed the
You did?
bottom of the
Okay.
board.
Yeah,
I can remember I was at my friend's backyard, and I got my first ever four-bagger, and that's when I was like, I've made it. Like, you guys, I've made it.
Yeah.
But
Super strong.
even before that, I will say, so I used to be a stepper, and for whatever reason, I would look down when I stepped. It's like, I don't know, was the ground going to disappear? I don't know what I was looking at the ground for. But so my husband shouts down at the front. We're at our friend's house. He shouts down, "Stop looking down before you throw." And I'm like, what? I didn't know I was doing that. He's like, you know what? Just stop stepping. Just stand there. And so I just stood there, and I did like 70% better. Like, it was like an instant, just like, whoa. And that's when I kind of got the bug immediately, because I was like, whoa, that was such a crazy shift with the smallest thing. Well, I guess it's not really small in our world, but seemingly small.
Yeah.
And so that was really memorable, to be like, I think I might be able to be okay at this. Like, I never wanted to be super competitive or pro, but like enough to be able to like go and do the things he was doing and not like feel like I was just going to miss the board every throw.
Kind of that light bulb moment.
Totally.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that answer. So we have made it to our smooth round segment of the podcast. So just some small, quick questions to ask you for your quick response. Nothing major. So I'll start it off. So, Mish, what's your favorite color?
Oh, it's like seafoam green. It's in my
Seafoam
logo.
green.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Hidden talent outside of cornhole.
Probably the music stuff, right? So like, I like to sing and play guitar and that stuff, write music.
so favorite sport to play besides cornhole?
I don't play sports.
Oh, okay. Well, cornhole.
There was a famous line when I was sideline reporting. I was standing with Trey and Jeff, and they said something. I turned around, I go, I don't know, I don't do sports. And they're like, you're literally a sideline reporter for a sport. So no.
That's awesome. And then back to the music. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, Elton John. There's a bunch of Elton John songs. I just love Elton John.
Your song is classic.
No,
sure.
not like typical, like, there's just other ones. I think they're kind of like off the beaten path, but yeah.
Okay.
Nice. So I got 2 bonus questions for you. So, what is your favorite hip hop song of all time?
Oh, song? Ooh, I don't know. Favorite hip hop song. I mean, it's gonna change, right? Like
Yeah, it could
I'm very
change.
much like up to current. Like I change what I listen to all the time. Like I love
Okay.
classic rock, but like I need new stuff. So right
Yeah.
at this moment, my favorite song is "Never Leave" by Western, and that's
Mm,
WSTRN, like no vowels. That
okay.
is what I like can't get enough of at this moment.
Nice, nice, nice. So also you like Afro beats. So what's one of
Yeah.
your favorite songs? But here's the kicker. You gotta sing it.
No, I'm not. I can't sing
I was,
Afro beats.
I
That
was just
is
teasing. I
that is
was teasing, but
no,
what's
but no. It's called Echo Miami by Malik Berry, and that's probably my favorite Afrobeat song. But even Western has a touch of Afrobeats influence to them as well. But it's a London hip hop group.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, those are
Okay.
like two like jams right now. Like can't get enough of.
I love it. I love it. I love you. So thank you so much for being on the podcast. We are so honored, and blessed to have you on to share some of your knowledge and some of your light on us. So we truly appreciate you for coming on today.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's
thank you.
been awesome. Thank you guys so much.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, well, thank you for coming on today, and we'll be talking soon. Don't worry.
Sounds good.
All right. See you later.
Bye guys.
Yeah.
All right, man. That was a good one.
Oh
That was
yeah.
a good one, man. She dropped a lot of knowledge on us, man, today. So
Yeah.
I love
I
it, man.
loved how she talked about the mental aspects of games, and I think there's such a huge place for that, and so many of us will benefit from that type of information. So I love to see that light being shined in that direction.
Yeah, and for her to actually sit down next to Wally every day, and when they commentating and things like that, just to have somebody else on who actually are at that level that we want to get at is just a blessing for us, man. So yeah, man, that was a good one, man. I don't even
Yeah.
know what to say, man. That was one of those good ones that you just
Oh
can't
yeah.
never plan, but it just come out great. So
Absolutely.
and always before we leave, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. So we got OCG. Primrose Homes, I'm sorry, Lambert's Pitch Palace, White Law Construction,
Yeah.
Fada Focus Gallery, DP Cornhole, Jen Jones, South Central Illinois Cornhole, Austin West, Iris in the City, Bang Bang Baggers,
Bang bang.
Infinity Capital Real Estate LLC, and Jerry Wolford. So another great episode of Cornhole with Smooth, the podcast. I'm Jay Smooth, and
Dr. Nick.
we out. Peace.